Welcome back this morning. Now, let's start with the Finder newspaper. It says government hits jackpot as taxes on petroleum products hit 3.4 billion cedis in just 6 months. Comes with a photograph of Moses Saga, the NPA boss. The General Telegraph says Mahama storms NDC's World Bank today. The president is beginning his tour of the Volta region. Daily Guide has a story. NDC targets Bawumia, lampoons at Kumasi rally, and then also GII inducts Mahama over vote buying. Now, the Ghanaian Times this morning talks about the Catholic Bishop Conference and says Bishop warns parties don't announce results. It comes with a photograph of the new president of the Catholic Bishops Conference. Daily Graphic carries the same story. Don't declare results. Catholic bishops advise media and political parties. And also on the front page of the Daily Graphic, you're welcome to CPP. Dr. Daly urges disqualified aspirant. The BNFT says IMF punches holes in banking laws as a bait to secure public purse. Those are some of the stories on the pages of the newspapers I have with me here. The guest to do the talking this morning to my extreme right is a Deputy Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Madam Barbara Sewa. Good morning. Good morning. And hope you're doing great. And the campaigning is on. It's getting hotter and hotter, I guess.
Yeah, it's on.
Welcome once again. And then the first National Vice Chair of the CPP, Madam Hajia Hamdaltu Ibrahim, is sitting to my right. Good morning, too.
Good morning.
And Mr. Greenstreet is on. I heard him over the weekend.
Yes.
Sure, the campaigning is going on well.
Very well.
Grateful for your time this morning. And then to my left is Member of Parliament for the Tema East constituency, Daniel Ni Kwate Titus Glover. Good morning. And have you launched your campaign yet?
I don't like every day is launching.
Okay. So you are not launching?
I'm not used to funfair.
Okay.
Because mine is submarine.
All right. We'll see what happens on December 7th. Yeah. All right. Welcome to the studios this morning. Let's start with the Bishops' Conference this morning because the Catholic bishops have made a few remarks at the end of their conference in Tamale. And a quick read of the story says that the communique said, for instance, that it is urging Ghanaians to continue to repose their trust and confidence in the Electoral Commission throughout the period of the election and called for the provision of necessary logistics for the Commission to deliver on its mandate of ensuring peaceful, free, fair, transparent, and credible polls. Again, the communique, which was signed by the newly elected president, talked about the integrity of the forthcoming election that has to be upheld. And it says that the EC is an institution constitutionally mandated, among other duties, to compile the register of voters and revise it periodically to demarcate the electoral boundaries. Now, the key thing the Bishops' Catholic Conference spoke about is the fact that the media should stay away from announcing results. That issue, once again, coming in at this time of the elections. Titus, I'm starting right with you here. Political parties and the media announcing results, we've been cautioned about it, and the fact that sometimes it brings dissatisfaction on the part of opposing parties. Is this indeed the case, and can we stay away from it?
Thank you very much, Bright. Good morning to your viewers, and good morning to my beautiful ladies to be on the program. I think that the mandate to declare results.
All right. Just give me a minute. Let me take a quick break. I'll come back and we'll continue the conversation. Stay with us. This is New Day. We'll be with you in just a few minutes.
Who becomes the next Ghana's most beautiful? You decide. Vote your favorite contestant to win by texting Badu Na Yaba Hiba or Akos the short code 1413 on all networks. Watch the live show every Sunday at 8 p.m. live from the World Trade Center. Audience must be seated by 6 p.m. Ghana's Most Beautiful, redefining beauty to promote national unity.
Ghana's Most Beautiful is brought to you by Sasso Insecticide Spraying Coil and supported by TV3, First in News, Best in Entertainment. Sports Station, sponsored by Cowbell, Ernest Chemist, Malta Guinness.
Every day, issues pop up. There's always a story that sounds good, and the real story. On hot issues, we engage the newsmakers, interrogate them, and make sure we get a real story out of them. That is what we do on Hot Issues, and I am Winston.
Hot Issues, Saturdays, 1 p.m. only on TV3.
Still, I won't say any problem. Oh, my best rami will me die. No, my mammy too sure be.
Mammy Bonswate. We don't have many bones to call them a shark.
Judge, ain't it a second chance, pa? What will you do with it?
Hey, yesterday, happening tea, Mobon Galloway.
Oh, Judge.
That's in the Abunia, Evan. My top ticket is that I grab more heaven. You want to don't take it in now.
I rather Mr. Dessing, Cranium Brants here. Listen to Barry, it is a POP that mean Pecota, mean Penny, say so come.
Efira is brought to you by Ofie Honey Noni Shower Gel and Cream, Proper Sanitary Pad, Joy Daddy Bitters, Lucky Herbal Bitters and Mixture, Africa Queen Mackerel.
Warm Up, coming soon on TV3. Sports Station, sponsored by Cowbell, Ernest Chemist, Malta Guinness.
All right, welcome back. Sorry for that hitch there. It was a technical thing there. And so we stay on the issue, the story in the Daily Graphic about the Catholic Bishops' Conference, a communique issued, and it raises certain key issues that we'll discuss this morning. It talks about the electorate, it talks about political parties, it talks about the media and security agencies, all of them in contributing to a credible, free, fair election. And Daniel Ni Kwate Titus Glover is a member of parliament for the Tema East constituency. He started the conversation this morning. So you were making a point about the bishop's advice to the media to uphold the highest journalistic ethics and not also to call results, since they might, in a way, disturb the election, the peaceful nature of the elections.
Thank you very much. Right, like I'm saying, from the advice from the Bishop Conference, that the journalists should try very hard to uphold the ethics of your profession. I mean, in terms of your reportage during this election period, between now, the day of elections, and after and all that, they should have at the back of their mind that they are serving this country. The media, for me, is a mirror of this country, you know, and the kind of things that we publish or they report has the tendency to destroy or to, you know, unify this country. Therefore, they need to be very circumspect in the way they report, so that all of us together will be able to go into this election as a united corporate Ghanaians trying to elect our leaders who are going to lead us from 2017. But having said so, there is another this advice from the conference saying that they should not declare the results. I mean, every polling station results are announced publicly, and you have an election command center here, MG group of something right, that you have been, you know, talking about it. In all the polling stations, when the results are being announced, equally all the political parties, I know the major players, ourselves and our main opponents, we have established, I am going to establish one
centers, of course,
centers to look at all the results that are coming. It is not my duty to declare that results, but at least you need to arm yourself that, look, these are the results that has come. These are the figures that I've collected. So that when you go to the EC Collation Center and they are going to, you know, announce or come up with certain figures that are contrary to what you have the background to let them know, look, hold on a minute, this figure you are mentioning is not the right figure. It happened to me in 2012. There's one police station at Presby Church in Temamaya. In the collection center, they heap all the pink sheets together like this. So we are sitting behind the table, and the EC official will pick one pink sheet. They will be mentioning the names and their parties and their results. Believe you me, at one of these polling stations in Presby Church, instead of 187 for me, he mentioned 178. I was sitting here, I was very green, very new in elections and in collation. So immediately he dropped that. I said, hold on a minute, what did you mention? He said 187. I said, wait, but you are seeing 187.
And he mentioned 178.
And he mentioned 178. So what he did was that all of us, we should bring our copies out. So we had our copies with us. So quickly we pulled ours. And you could see titles Global 187 instead of 178. So he has to add 9 to the 178 to make up with the 187. So it makes us very, very, very cautious when it comes to the results. So what I'm saying is that all the media houses, you can collect the results as they come. But you don't have the authority and the mandate by the law to declare these results. And I think that is what the admonition that is coming from the Catholic Bishops' Conference. And I think that we need to take cue from what they have said. But nobody can stop any political party from
collecting its own results and keeping them.
And keeping them so that we can check from what the EC also has.
I'm grateful. Madam Hajia Hamdaji, let me come to you on this, because apart from the media, the bishop are also asking that political parties should stop making promises that they know they cannot fulfill in the build-up to the elections.
Yes, good morning to you and then to my co-panelists here. My special good morning goes to Ivor Kobner Greenstreet and the chairman and leader of my great party, the CPP. I think the Catholic bishop, they met in Tamale. That's where I'm coming from. And then the advice to political parties. You know, Brights, every single day we hear promises from both the NDC and the NPP. One dump, one village, one dump, one room, 1 meter, and so on and so forth. So I think I've been telling people, we write manifestos. At times we are not even able to achieve all the targets in the manifesto. Then some of the things that we mount platforms to say are not even in our manifestos. So I'm sure that is where the bishops had a clue from to advise. This is an advice to political parties. Because you see a candidate, they advise both parliamentary candidates and presidential candidates. You go to a place, then an parliamentary aspirant will say, when I come, your roads are bad, I'll make sure I'll fix all the roads here, the schools. When you know, even your common fan cannot do that. They mix up things. You can lobby to get projects into your constituency. Why is it that when you are mounting the platform and making those promises, You have to bring all this in. Don't talk as if you are going to do it. Fine, Ministry of Roads, I can go there and talk to the technocrats there who are designing the roads and everything to get some developmental distance into my constituency. I'll make sure I have some good working relationship with the assemblymen who are the developmental agents of the constituencies. But you don't hear this from politicians. What you hear is that I'll do this, I'll do that. When it comes to the time that they have to deliver, I say, oh, MPs don't construct the road. So I'm sure that is why the bishops are advising, especially politicians, not to make big promises that you think. You remember when the NDC talked about the 200 schools?
Right.
They ended up having, is it 70 or some, that by the end of the term, they'll get 70.
Will be ready.
And then when they were questioned, they said they didn't know this disaster in Circle will happen, this will happen. So you should know that you don't control nature, whereby you say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. That's why anytime I say something, I say, by the grace of Allah, because if it's anything at all, you don't know what will happen tomorrow. Barbara sat here to say that she was with a journalist few hours, he's gone. So you wouldn't know what is going to happen tomorrow. So I think, you see, because they are advising us from a religious point of view, because they are Christians. They've met and they've been meditating, praying for the nation. And maybe they've seen that some huge promises that are being done by especially the NDC and NPP, maybe it's not attainable. That's why they are advising us. And we take it in good faith.
I'm grateful. Now, let's stay on it, Barbara, because again, the bishops are suggesting that politicians should realize that the opponents are not their enemies, but their neighbors. And then one key thing that we can look at is the concern over the phenomenon of vote buying by politicians, stressing that such practice is an insult to the intelligence and dignity of the unsuspecting voter. And it is encouraging politicians to stop such acts and entreat the electorate from yielding to such needless enticements, particularly when the Ghana Integrity Initiative is indicting the NDC party and President Mahama over some allegations of vote buying. How would you take the advice of the bishops?
Thank you very much, and good morning to viewers this morning. Right, you know, when you are the President of the Republic and at the same time campaigning as a candidate, it's not an easy thing at all. And when issues like this come up, I am not in any way saying that we should encourage vote buying. And then we should also know that the Catholic institution is a very, very important institution in every community, country, and whatever. But you see, anytime I hear, especially when you are the president and you are at the same time campaigning, do you have to stop being the president and then stop doing everything that you are supposed to do as a president and then concentrate only on the campaign until the elections are done, or you can combine your schedules or your duties as a president and at the same time campaign? At times it becomes very difficult if you are not careful. And that is why it is always the incumbents who have this problem. And then we should also be able to distinguish between when we say something is vote buying and then something is encourage or giving people what they want. For example, if the president goes to commission a school that has been completed, can you interpret that to be vote buying or vote inducing or whatever? Are you saying that the president shouldn't be commissioning projects because it's during election time? We should be able to distinguish between some of these things. And then, you see, what makes it more critical is the fact that the other political parties may be doing things that could also be interpreted to mean vote buying. But because they are not in government, it is not seen as such. And so I think that as all of us must learn from it, especially the two parties who are likely to win elections, whatever, or whoever is likely to win election. At what time should the president be doing his, or maybe we should distinguish between when the president is performing his functions as a president clearly from when the president is campaigning. If we are able to distinguish these two scenarios very well, then we will not be lumping things together and be seeing everything as vote buying. For example, the president went somewhere and was distributing outboard motors, and then it was seen as vote buying. Meanwhile, the president has been doing this over the years since he became president. And then we even heard that an MP who was all over the place claiming that the president was distributing those outboard motors because of election, himself had gone for a number of those outboard motors to also give to his constituents. So how do you distinguish the two? Be as it may, it is also very important to say that Ghanaians have come of age so far as politics is concerned. And so I don't think that those gone are the days when you can simply give something to somebody expecting that the person will vote for you because you have given something to that person. I remember some time ago, politicians used to accuse ourselves that we give chamber pots and whatever to people to vote. I don't think we can be saying the same things today. And so it is important, as I said, the bishops are right to advise politicians. But it's unfortunate when it is kind of, like you said, tilted towards a particular person. Because all of us, some people are going around sharing cocoa and kosi. Will you say that is vote buying?
I see.
You understand? After working, you can take cocoa and kosi.
But so if the CPP is giving cocoa and kosi to voters, can we describe that as?
And the president is commissioning schools.
No. President is commissioning schools. Cannot be seen as vote buying. But if you see a package with a sticker of a political party given to electorate, that is a different thing altogether. Because nobody can stop the president from commissioning schools. How can you say commission of school is vote buying? No. I'm not sure that is what people are talking about. They're talking about maybe a parcel with a sticker of a political party on it given to electorate. That is what we are talking about. As for schools, Barbara, who can say that why should the president commission a school?
Even when that's what I said, even when he was giving outboard notice, it was being interpreted to
because maybe he was in an NDC shirt, maybe. And
okay,
maybe
so that's the point.
They said no. I saw it because they said he was from a rally,
so
and he cannot go and change. So fine, the NDC have explained. Are you with me? Because if the president was at a rally ground and then he's supposed to go somewhere to distribute outboard motors, maybe he cannot enter into maybe a corner and change there. Maybe that is the reason why. But because he was in that t-shirt, that's why people also interpret. And people are even alleging that some of the outboard motors had his stickers. That one I cannot. No. That's why I said that one I cannot prove it. You see, but it is happening, Bright. It is happening. We are seeing parcels being with stickers of political parties. If I know I've done very well, or I can do better, so why should I induce voters to come and vote for me? Because we are going to serve them. We are going to serve them. That is why voter education is very, very important. Because I'm coming to serve you, and you want me to give you something before coming to serve you. It doesn't add up.
Actually, let me read this from the paper. You see, it specifically mentions what the GII report is referring to. This is a daily guide as vote buying and talks about offering money and medicine, pharmaceutical products to voters, and providing last-minute infrastructure, construction materials, agricultural inputs, and other services to institutions and communities aimed at securing votes. Now, the report says these are major infractions as far as vote buying is concerned. So, for instance, in your case, the commissioning of a school building perhaps will be seen by the GII as vote buying.
Well, maybe
if we are to go by this report.
Maybe they are looking at the timing of the projects.
Right.
Maybe the timing. That is why, because one of the radio stations went around the countries, especially I think in the central region, to look at this schools that the government is commissioning. And then some that they said they have done, some that they are about to commission, and so on and so forth. And at some places, there's nothing there. Maybe it's just the foundation. And then some are almost completed, and then there is some kind of enthusiasm to finish it. And somebody can say that, oh, it's because of the election. That is why they are maybe fast-tracking the whole issue. But you see, when it comes to the farm equipment and what have you, well, still timing. But Barbara is saying that
here.
we don't know.
So if I give it out and the sticker of the party is not on it, it's right.
Well, you see, that is why journalists, of course, must do some proper investigation. It could be that the farmers, all the fisher folks, demanded this album mottos. Is it 2 years ago that they asked for this help, or was it last year? And then maybe the government decided that let's wait when it's getting to election, we distribute so that they will say that we want to see to the welfare or well-being of the farmer, fisher folks or something. It's dicey. Is that all this can stop when there are proper mechanism put in place to make sure all the sectors of the economy works very well. That's all.
Titus, can we this vote buying thing? Can we really say which is vote buying and which is not, and can we stop it? Barbara is suggesting that the Ghanaian voter is now discerning enough. So, well, you can give it a pot of gold.
Somebody can tell you, if you don't give me something, I won't vote for you. It is there.
It is there. All of our people, excuse my language, that are discerning enough. You know, some are moved by the appearance of the candidates. You know, demeanor, their beauty, their color, you know. There are those, of course, Ghanaians are really in pain. People are really, really, really suffering. So if you go and give somebody a goodies just to vote for you, fine. It can do some magic for you. But sometimes the ability, you know, to apply party paraphernalia on some of these things is what makes it quite difficult. Back in my constituency, the MC went to the Kenu Beach with my main contestant, with the album motto, with NDC colors all over it.
With the stickers or
with the president's color all over the album motto.
How?
You know,
when you say color on it,
I mean,
the
you
stickers
see the
or the colors.
A T-shirt,
okay,
a normal red T-shirt with NDC logo on the chest, you know, but if you don't do that and you go and present to the fishermen, all government that have come in this Fourth Republic that I've seen, either Rawlings, whether Kufuor, Professor Mills, may so rest in peace, give out motors to fishermen. It doesn't matter the season. But so long as it is a duty of the state to support fishermen, you know, in their fishing expedition, I have no problem. But when you want to politicize it, that makes it, and the timing of the whole thing is another matter. But in saying so, the Catholic Bishop Conference is admonishing media people not to declare results. But let's ask ourselves, is the electoral commission also doing what is right according to the law?
How?
And I'm saying this because when you go to chapter 7 and the public elections, I want to read from clause 2, and I quote with your permission. Immediately after the close of the poll, the presiding officer shall, in the presence of such of the candidates or their representatives and their polling agent as are present, proceed to count at the polling station the ballot papers of that station and record the vote cast in favor of each candidate or question unquote. I'm saying this with reference to special voting. This is what the Constitution is saying. Ajia, under special voting under 1992 throughout 2012, they always keep the special voting until the next day or two when the main election is done. Then they come and pour it on top of it. But this is what the law is telling us, the Constitution, the Supreme Law. So this is a very issue that we can even try in the court for interpretation. So if the Catholic Bishop Conference is telling the media, don't declare the results. What about the managers of the results? It is your duty to declare under the Constitution that either special voting, whatever, we must declare and know what the results is, so that everybody will be very happy about what has happened. We don't want a situation looking at what we are hearing in certain places that we want to believe this is what is going to happen.
Titus, is this your view or the view of your party?
I'm talking about the Constitution.
Yes.
Okay, I'm talking about the constitution.
You questioning this particular. Okay.
This is my understanding of the constitution.
Not your party.
My party has not taken a position.
Because I was going to ask you that this is an issue that can be discussed at IPAC, and if it's been discussed.
Absolutely.
Because for the convention that I know, I might be wrong. The convention was that, well, in order not to give any candidate the upper hand as far as the signal is concerned, let's keep these results secret until the actual voting. But I was asking if it is the view of your party, so that it could have been discussed at IPAC. That's what I was asking, whether it's your view or the view of your party.
But this is what
you think. Okay.
The constitution is saying.
All right.
And I wouldn't mind trying the law.
Okay.
You understand?
All right.
Convention, fine. But looking at every election, the way things are done, the experiences at the Supreme Court, things that happen in the petition, I think that this part of the constitution needs to be tried. And let's see how it is. So that the electoral commission must declare all special voting, so that everybody will be clear and will know the way forward.
I'm sure your party will have to take this to an IPAC meeting. I think it's not a big deal. It can be discussed. Barbara, let me come to you again. A quick one on the issue of the vote buying, and then we can wrap up on that. For the suggestion that let's differentiate between the work of the president and he as a candidate. Hadia suggesting that the timing is quite what the problem. Briefly, just about a minute on that.
Thank you very much. When we talk about the timing, for example, she was talking about commissioning of. There's a school in my constituency, for example, that started somewhere last year. It has been completed. It needs to be commissioned for the people to be able to use it. So if the president goes to Ashanti region and decides, once I'm in Ashanti region, let me take an opportunity to commission it so that the good people of that area can use it to their benefit. Will you say that is vote buying? Because that is the time the school has been completed. And I don't think there's anything, I don't also see how you can say that because a contractor, you see, we complain when things are not done in a certain way, and then when they are done in the other way too, we complain. If contractors are giving work and they are not working according to the time schedule, all of us will be admonishing them to be doing the work the way they are supposed to do it. And so, for example, if the president goes somewhere, or if a DCE or any government appointee goes to a project and realizes that if you listen to the radio, you hear people call in to say that a contractor has abandoned the project here and there. And so if that contractor is admonished to go and finish the project quickly within a specific time, does that mean that it is because of election? Every day, things are happening. That is why I said that it is very, very important. If, for example, the president goes to Honorable Glover's constituency and the people ask for a school building, and within 3 weeks, within October, the building is completed, that's what you can conclude, obviously, because it is not done. But if the building has started a year ago and it is completed maybe a month to election and the president goes to commission it, how can you conclude that?
Okay, all right. Let me take
but will you give me just some few seconds to comment? I didn't get an opportunity to comment on the media and then announce and then maybe political parties.
Right.
I think it's a very, very good thing that and they should continue saying that, because if you followed the 2008 and 2012 elections, there were stations that had reputations that were announcing wrong results. And people started jubilating based on the results that they were seeing on some media or hearing, only to be told that that was not the issue. And then it created confusion. And so it is important that we wait. At least the EC has the mandate to declare it. We have no problem collating your results, but wait for the EC. Once you are at the polling station and the presiding officer announces the result, you can also announce it, but you don't do that before the presiding officer announces the result. That is
we always told that it should be provisional.
Yes, at the polling station.
Right, the novelty now by the CN94 is that the results, a copy will be pasted
at the polling
station. Yes.
So that everybody will know
exactly
the results that were declared.
That should be interesting. All right, a quick one, Madam. But I come to you. A quick one on Mr. Tashi Glover's argument that perhaps the EC might be doing something wrong because the special voting, the votes are not counted after.
According to the
Constitution.
I think since 1992, I'm not saying that is not what is in the Constitution.
Right.
But you and I know what it might cost if maybe today there's special voting and then it is announced maybe so and so had this. That can sort of change the atmosphere. That can change the atmosphere. So maybe that is why maybe in the decision of the Electoral Commission, they keep it. But I think what can be done to satisfy the constitutional requirement is for pooling of political parties involved should be there and know exactly how this thing is going to be kept. You understand? Because
the ballot
boxes, well, if they are intact, unless of course we don't have confidence in the Electoral Commission to keep our ballot very safe. We all have those things that we put the seal. So maybe if we think that maybe there might be some, so why don't we do it in such a way that we seal it? But I doubt whether maybe because there will be the list of voters who are going to do the special voting. So therefore, if they vote, they will be ticked, and nobody will come and add any extra ballots. I don't want to add because it's the security agencies, and then maybe I think the media too are going to vote. Since you've been given now,
right?
The last election there was a problem.
We did not vote, but we're voting
this time around. So let's see, because it's confident. We have to have confidence in ourselves and the managers of the elections. If not, we might create some problems in the public. Listen, if the law says that, and Honorable is saying maybe somebody can test the law, well, everybody is at liberty to test the law if he or she is not satisfied. I will not say anything against that person's move, no.
Okay. But if we have that suspicion that someone could drop in a ballot or two, we should go ahead and count according to what the Constitution says.
You see, I think that over the years, political parties have been, even though we have the law, there is also the need for us to see how we implement the law to ensure that there is peace and unity. It's very, very important. Until this election, those who are engaged in the special voting have always been security personnel.
The media, those who will be on duty on the elections.
Can you imagine if, for example, we finish voting at, say, Burma camp, and then the ballot box is opened and is counted, and then all the votes go to a particular candidate. Do you know what I mean? It is just, and I'll be happy if it goes to my candidate.
It becomes an endorsement.
Definitely. You can simply go about saying, oh, even all the security agencies support my candidate, and I will love that. And so I think that it is in the interest of this country. That is why certain things are done. And I don't think the Electoral Commission takes these decisions alone. Political parties meet, and then we see how best we can implement the rules and regulations that we ourselves have set up, so that there will be peace and unity after the elections. You can also turn the situation around where all the security agencies vote for a particular party, and then at the end of the day, another party wins the election. What will be the relationship between the security agents and that government? So it is important to protect some of these things, even though it could be obvious. But once it's mixed up, and then it is very, very secured. That is why the Electoral Commission has gone a step further to say that, look, political parties, if you like, bring sellotape, bring glue, whatever you can to ensure that the ballot boxes are sealed.
They should bring their own padlocks.
Padlocks, whatever you can bring to ensure that the ballot boxes are secured, in your opinion. We keep it at a place where, and we have agents there, as the voting, all the political parties who are minded have their agents there. And when it is finished, the day they open, they bring the box out. Party A will come and see, this is my padlock, it's intact. Party B will see, everybody is satisfied that this is how the box was kept, and it has been brought back in that same condition. And so I think that even though Honorable Tato has a case, I don't think that it is not everything that we need to test the law. Because if we keep doing that, we may be the courts may interpret the constitution to mean that yes, you are supposed to count, so count immediately, but what will be the consequences? And so I think that these are some of the things that we use common. That is why we say the constitution is a living document. So you look at the letter and the spirit of it and then determine which one is best.
But
for
you know,
the
Bright,
nation.
even after the special voting, especially NDC and NPP, you see this group saying that we have won. These people say we have won. Meanwhile, they've not declared the results. You've not heard it before. I'm telling you.
Okay. All right. You're not going to a battle and say that I have lost anyway. We'll see. All right. Let's jump into this issue of the NDC on Dr. Bawumia and Dr. Omane Boamah on Nana Akufo-Addo. The General Telegraph carries the story this morning and says that according to Dr. Omane Boamah, Nana Akufo-Addo can't fight corruption. That is what he says. Now, the Daily Guide this morning says NDC is targeting Dr. Bawumia, and the Daily Statesman says Bawumia is, that's the word, NDC launches blistering attacks on NPP.
It's an insult.
Okay, there's a word on the paper.
Say it.
So when they buy the newspaper, they will be able to
say
read the
it.
word. Or I can show
It's
you to the cameras.
You are reviewing the paper.
Yes, I'm reviewing the paper.
So mention what is there.
I'm not supposed to read everything on the paper. Okay, all right. So let's start from here.
Honorable.
Barbara, is the NDC attacking Dr. Bawumia, his personality? Is that what the party is doing?
I don't think so. I don't think NDC is attacking Dr. Bawumia, his person. NDC, we've been carrying on our campaign in a very decent manner. I'm not saying that maybe, Saturday was a big day for NDC in Ashanti region. We had very huge supporters gathering to launch the campaign. So maybe I would say that as a result of enthusiasm, somebody might have said something. But there were speakers after speakers. We had over 15 people who spoke, including myself, at the rally. I don't think that all the speakers lined up to insult Dr. Bawumia. So maybe out of enthusiasm, one person might have said something which was not in the best interest or whatever, which was not good enough. But it doesn't mean that we went attacking. I don't think. From the people who spoke, I don't know. I don't understand the language anyway, so I don't know exactly what. And if the person might have heard, I might not have even heard it. But I don't. If it's I don't think that is what NDC set out to do, because I was at the rally, and as I said, if somebody said anything that was against his person, maybe it was as a result of over enthusiasm. That's what I said.
The euphoria at the rally, political rally. That's how you want to put it. I don't think that's NDC. We don't carry out our campaign in such a manner at all. That is not NDC. Okay, Titus, let me come to you. And on a political rally platform, perhaps according to Madam Barbara, it could be that the euphoria surrounded the whole thing, and the fact that where the person might have been referring to what Dr. Bawumia is saying, but not the personality of Dr. Bawumia.
Excuse me.
You want to read the newspaper?
We are doing analysis.
Yes.
So allow me to do my work.
Okay.
Barbara is a nice lady. Maybe she will not insult. And you will see that she's uncomfortable.
Oh, you saw that?
Because the headline is saying that Bawumia is Mutum Banza. NDC launches blistering attack on NPP. This is my sister from the north. Hausa language, when they say Mutum Banza, you are useless. That is a language no other person than Koku Anyiro. That was the insult he held on Dr. Bawumia in his person. And the vice president was sitting there. He's comfortable, he's happy. He did not condemn what Anyiro. Let me read what he said. Hold on. What did he say? He said,
You want let me because you see I don't want to read it, but you see, Titus, you listen. You don't need to read the story. You see, all that I am saying that
Bawumia then respond Mutumbanza.
Okay, all right.
That's what you said there. But what has Bawumia said? All that he said is that look, under NDC for the past 8 years, revenue that has come into your kitty over 248 billion Ghana cedis compared to the 20 billion that NPP had under Diego. Your growth that you were bequeathed with 8.4%, you are struggling between under 4%. The debt that you have saddled this country to from 9.5 billion cedis to over 104 billion Ghana cedis. So when he's talking about these things and the level of unprecedented corruption under President Mama's administration and the NDC at large, what is the problem about this one? Then you mount a platform, then you insult Dr. Bawumia for telling us what is happening. Is that how we want to reduce our politics to?
So for you, there were insults.
What question is this?
Well, it could.
I've told you this is my Muslim sister from the north. When they say Mutum Banza, it means you are useless. Is Dr. Bawumia a useless person? I cannot describe my president as a useless president. I may disagree with him in his programs and his policies. I cannot. But I can give you a good critique on some of his policies that is affecting my people in my constituency. I'll not go ahead and insult. Is that how we're reducing this politics to?
Okay, let
you understand? And the vice, not true.
That was Manachi, but let me come in. For instance, when the NPP describes the president as incompetent, if we go down to translate incompetent in Chi or any other language, could it be that it could come closer to Mutumbanza?
Not at all.
It doesn't come closer?
Not at all.
Okay.
Take the dictionary. What is an incompetent?
I don't
that
have
means you
here.
cannot deliver, you cannot perform.
So you're useless?
Incompetent, if incompetent, is not an insult.
It's not an insult.
You cannot perform. If President Mama is my manager in my company, I will sack him in 1 second.
Okay, so if I'm incompetent in holding,
is an incompetent and insult
in moderating this forum, it means that I'm useless here.
Definitely.
Is incompetent useless? What do you call it? Is it an insult? You are bequeathed with an economy. Look at how this country is being run. Private sector are crying. Agriculture sector has dwindled. These are the things we are talking about. And Obanibama said what? Akufo-Addo cannot fight corruption. Because he claimed that my national chairman on suspension was fighting the use of party money. The National Executive Committee is a wing of the party. It's a structure of the party. The monies, when the committee was formed, were used for the purpose of the party. Some of the monies came to my constituency for party work. They were not eaten, but they were not chopped by any party executive. They were used for party work. Compared to what you people are doing, somebody will go and take railway money to go and do bus branding. No competitive bidding. And you say we should clap for such a person. Somebody will go and take DVLA money. And when you ask him, he said, because he's a human being, colossal amount of money. I mean, what is this? You have a government that have a budget to pay judgment debts. Compared to what this money will have been used to do. Akufo-Addo can fight corruption more better and more resolutely than President Mama is doing. People go and commit crime, then you invite them to come and sit in your office in the castle. Jubilee House.
No, Titus, if you say that, I won't take it. If you say
don't go there.
Commit crime. No, Titus,
don't go there at all.
I
what is this?
No, it does not.
Look at the Brazil gate.
No, Titus, that's not what you want to say.
You understand? People look at the way the superintendent they use.
That is not what you want to say. I know. It is not that people go to commit crime and the president invite them to the president. I don't think that is what you want to say.
Okay. So what is this?
No, Titus, no.
So what I'm saying is that people superintend over the misuse of government purse. And I'm talking about Visa-Free Ankara. Look at the Brazil gate. Monies that were spent. Today he's sitting at the comfort of the president, drinking tea with him. This is what we're talking about.
It means that you have been going there every morning.
You understand? What is this?
Okay.
And because of what Bawumia has been so critical on your administration, Mr. President, we are not insulting you. It is about your performance.
Okay. Titus, I'll come back to you on this issue, but I'm going to Hajia. I'll come back.
What is this?
Hajia, this...
Then you tell Bawumia is a Mutumbaza.
This issue of the insults on platforms. The NPP says the president is incompetent, and they keep saying that. The president has been complaining, and yet they keep saying it. Now, the NDC says Bawumia is this. The Kokua Anyudo who says the Bawumia is this, and it is an issue. Insults on political platforms. Which direction?
You see, right, not even on political platforms. I think the bishops admonished all political parties to be decent in the way they attack their opponents. That we are even neighbors. They didn't even use the word opponents. We hold different views. That doesn't make us enemies. You see, even within or without, take it within the CPP, or maybe if it comes to dealing with other political parties, I'm not sure insults should be part of our political discourse. That's how I see it. I bring my issue out, bring yours, and then we debate it, so that the good people of Ghana are the judges. So you don't describe this person as this or that or this before you can win votes, because some people don't even want to listen to people when they are insulting others. Do you know that? There are certain political party members, when they sit on set or on radio, people don't want to listen to the stations. Are you aware of that? It is not good. You don't have to insult the person. You see, Bright, you can disagree with Hajia, but that doesn't mean that you should run Hajia down just because you want to achieve something. You see, some people, if I'm insulted, it pains me because I don't insult anybody. I don't. I only speak on issues. Why should I insult Barbara because she's in NDC, or insult Titles because he's in NPP? And at the end of the day, we meet somewhere and we are laughing, chatting. That is hypocrisy. That is hypocrisy. I don't believe in that kind of politics. I mean, my politics is different, because I have friends in the NDC, I have friends in the NPP, I have friends across the political divide. So therefore, if we are describing something, we shouldn't bring the person into the discussion and trying to run the person down. Then you are not a politician. You are not a mature politician. Because every decent politician, mature politician, must speak to issues. On issues, that's all. But if you bring the person in, maybe the person's, the nose is this, the head, that is not politics. That is not politics. That is why some people are describing politics as dirty. It's the human being that are making the politics dirty. If not, where in politics? The word politics, have you seen any dirt in it? No. But it is us, the human beings. We are all Ghanaians. We are talking to the electorate to vote for us. Speak to the issue. Tell them what you can do to them when you are elected. When maybe somebody raised an issue, Bawumia has raised an issue about the economy, A, B, C, D. We heard Fifi Kwete trying to set the record straight, and he has done it. So let's do it. A said this, and B said, no, that was not it. But don't go to the extent of attacking the person. It makes politics unattractive to people. It makes politics unattractive at all. Because I tell you, at times maybe if there's some hot argument in the studio of some, within some political parties, and children are watching, at times they can ask, Mommy, can you go to this station? Look at what is happening there. We are putting some kind of panic and fear in the children. So we are even putting them off, so that maybe they will say that the way things are going, I cannot be a politician. So that's why some people are saying that if we're not careful, good people will shy away from politics, which is not good enough for our country.
Barbara, Titus sharply disagrees with your assertion that perhaps it was a rally euphoria, and the fact that indeed Koku was actually targeting Dr.
Thank you very much. I didn't really look at that paper, so I didn't know what, and then the word I didn't understand. But now that Titus has explained it to me, I can comment adequately. Did you listen to the NPP launch their campaign? Speaker after speaker held insults at the first gentleman of the state, the president. You see how he was struggling to explain incompetence. When Professor Mills, may he so rest in peace, was alive, day after day, as for them, they actually use the English word useless, clueless, whatever.
But it's not the best.
Hold on. I know it's not the best. That's why I don't do it. That is why NDC don't do it. When former President Jerry Rawlings was the president of this country, they called him a bastard. If we are talking about people who have made insults, their credentials in politics is NPP. But you see, they see themselves as special people. So as for them, you must not say anything about them. But as for them, they have the right to insult anybody as much as they like. Let all of us, if today NPP thinks that insult is not the best thing to do, then we should all stop it, because we don't do it. We don't. If we are talking about a political party that insults, the prayer for the president is like a chewing stick. They insult him every day. Every opportunity they get, they help insult his person, not his office. And so I'm very, very happy that somebody has going to say something about Bawumia, and then all of a sudden NPP have realized that insults is not good, especially when it is at the person. Going forward, let all of us abide by that. At least if it's not a rule, let's make it kind of a convention. That we will not insult. Let's stick to the issues.
Yeah.
And then I heard my
Dr. Mani's issue.
Yes.
That another cannot fight corruption.
What is he saying? That when people commit crime, they are invited to the flags. Have you heard any accountability office?
That, no.
Have you?
Barbara, he withdrew that. I drew his attention.
He was arguing with you, and he even justified it. Have you heard of any accountability office at the Flagstaff House? If he has forgotten, we had one at the castle. That is where it was actually during President Kufuor's rule, not the President Mahama's rule, not under President Mahama. The one who was inviting criminals to his office to advise them, he himself said it. As President Kufuor, he said that he will not destroy his government. So when somebody
I won't also take that,
fine.
Because
when somebody does something wrong,
yes, put it that way.
He will invite that person to his office and pat his back, because if he wants to talk about corruption, it will destroy his government. At least President Mahama has shown that he fights corruption by taking his own appointees to court. Go and face the law and let the law decide what to do with you. You say that is not fighting corruption. The one who invites somebody, those who were taking tea, they were taking it at the castle during President Kufuor's rule, not President Mahama's rule. And then Nana Akufo-Addo, he says the National Central Committee were the one. Hey, when we heard about the account, it was a secret account, the one at Ecobank, sorry. That is what we heard. That it was a secret account being operated by two people. And the party national chairman was not aware that the party has opened a secret account. That's what we heard. And they have not refuted that. So he should come again. It was after the event, then when the party realized that no, this one was not going well for us, then the national committee, or whatever he's claiming, jumped in to say that it was used. Why is it that you have a national chairman and then a party opens an account? And I hear Nanado was the biggest beneficiary of that account.
You don't have the evidence.
Oh, that is what they were saying. How did he say it? It was the NPP themselves. That was the evidence they were adducing. Some people have even been indicted. They have to be arrested by the police, and they are still dodging.
Okay.
That is their own party. So imagine what they would do if they get access to the state funds. That is why you see they say experience is the best teacher. NPP, they know where the money is. And they are always talking about it. The judgment debts that they keep referring to, the government has a budget for judgment debt. Who created those judgment debts? Do you know how they came about?
Your party has not created any?
Please, find out all those judgment debts, one after the other, and see during which regime. People go and cook something, and then they go and take judgment debt. And then, unfortunately, NDC happened to be in power when all these cases, I'm saying that take the issues one after the other. Which of them was created under NDC? It was just an unfortunate situation.
I'm grateful
that NDC found itself in power at the time that we had to pay the judgment that they had created.
Okay.
That is what happened.
We'll talk about the CPP's daily, but just 1 minute 30 seconds to.
It's unfortunate listening to Barbara.
Yes, it's already.
And no single, if you think that appointees and NPP were so corrupt, all the cases that you took to court, you lost them. No single person has been sent to jail, and that is clear, should be established. You see, what kind of insult NDC have not subjected an Akufo-Addo to on this land?
Okay.
What insults, including the very person you do, Felix Kwachi, Ablakwa, Omani Buama, all these guys. What insult haven't they held? But you have a president who can insult us. He calls us foolish. He describes us baloney, saying all these things. You see, as a leader, I will not insult. Therefore, I will not insult anybody. This Friday, you know what happened in my constituency? I was doing house to house in one of the suburbs of Komjuan called Site 20. I had a team, and there was an elderly woman who was part of my team. I was at the front campaigning, and behind me, we were doing the sweeping. A very good NDC friend of mine, he's called Alasan. He's a serial caller. Attacked this elderly woman, slapped this woman. So when I came back, in fact, if I've not controlled my people, it would have been a different thing. What did the woman say? She was sitting in the tuaba.
Since you were the only one then saw the slap. You
see, I'm saying this thing because if leaders cannot control our tongue, you could have imagined what would have happened to Alasan.
Do you believe they should stop insults? Do you believe
it should be able to stop? We should be able to stop it.
And who has to stop it? The political party?
Why not? We should be able to stop it.
Okay.
Because if what happened in Site 20, I have not spoken to my people, it will have happened what will have taken place. Even the residents who even saw the action of Alasa came up in the MP, please, let's leave that. And he's a very good friend of mine. But for what he did, it's unfortunate. I don't think that I can relate with that boy the way he did. So therefore, insult should not be part of our politics. If I say something and you disagree with me, find a way to come and counter. But why should we held insult on ourselves? Where would that going to lead us to? If this country, look at what is happening. The private sector are suffocating. There are no jobs. Children have finished school and they are sitting in their homes, looking at the faces of their parents. And when we say this, we shouldn't say.
All right.
And so I insult the president about this. No, I wouldn't do that.
I'm grateful, Titus. Let's pick this last one before we wrap up. The Daily Graphic is reporting that Dr. Daly is urging this qualified aspirants to come back home. According to him, the successful filing of the nomination of the party's candidate, Mr. Ivor Greenstreet, vindicates the party's position as the only incrementist party in the country, and said the CPP is ready to welcome political parties claiming to believe in that ideology and whose candidates have been disqualified. Quickly, Haja, wrap up on this for me. Yes, the CPP and the call to these candidates to come back.
Yes, Bright. To be honest with you, our heart goes with the people who were disqualified. But they are in court, so talking about it into details might cause something. Maybe some people don't know. Even when we went to trade fair to elect Ivor as our presidential candidate and the PNC electing Dr. Edward Mahama as their candidate, we were still in talks with the PPP, who were yet to elect their flag bearer, after we have all gone for our congresses. So therefore, if now we wanted to all unite and present one candidate, that was the understanding. They were meeting and it was Professor Dele who was chairing this meeting. You understand? So therefore, if now that maybe this unfortunate incident has happened, I'm sure that is the reason why Prof, as the unity chairman, let me put it that way, is calling on those who were disqualified to come back. I'm not sure. It's nothing new, because I can tell you, even though we're doing it behind closed doors, you remember sometimes, if I can, what is happening about the CPP unity, when I say we are on it without going into details of what was happening at that time. Because I can tell you, they met on several occasions to try to present one candidate. One candidate. Anybody, if it's the PNC and PP watching me, the person can call and maybe deny this. But that was what happened. But in fact, as I sit here, including the entire leadership of the Convention People's Party, what really happened that day took all of us by surprise. And we're really shocked. Because why am I saying this? Dr. Edward Mahama, if he had contested this, that would be the 5th time.
Right.
Dr. Indum has contested on our ticket before, and then the PPP. What I will say is that the managers of the filling of the nomination form, let me put it that way, they didn't do their work well. Because look at Dr. Indum's case. Somebody who is registered in voter region had endorsed the form and went to central region. So I can say that somebody did some lazy work there. That is it. Okay. And as for PNC, my own brother Atik and Bernard, I was surprised because you've gone through it and gone through it and gone through it, and then you come and present this kind of thing. Because if it's anything at all, the managers of the elections, maybe this time round, they want to go strictly by what is in the CI 94. That is why maybe this happened.
It happened.
If not, I'm telling you, Professor Dele, I remember that day we all congregated at the party headquarters trying to find out what went wrong, especially with these two parties. In fact, it's
I've run out of time.
But you know, some of them are still saying that because if I heard Ayarga yesterday very well, he said they should disregard what they heard, but he's going to be on the ballot. So in case he's not able to be on the ballot, why not? He's welcome.
Listening to Hajia makes it interesting because I'm not sure if this call by their chairman to compel Dr. Edwin Mahama and Papa Kwesi to come back home when they come in terms of unity. So I disagree because I recall
they shouldn't come.
I'm not saying they shouldn't come. I'm not sure Papa Kwesi will come.
Okay.
Because you remember when he departed from the party. I watched on your news item program names that they call Papa Kwesi into. I saw a woman who even picked a broom and swept. You should go.
But she,
hold on.
I'm wrapping up. I've run out of time already.
I don't see this.
No,
it's okay. All right, that's okay. Barbara, I have run out of time already.
You know what is happening? No. Titus is praying that they don't go. So he wants
not at all.
Okay, gentlemen and ladies, I have great
at the party.
Why did he It
is not true.
And Daniel Nee Titus Glover is a member of parliament for the constituency. Gentlemen and ladies, I'm grateful. I'm wrapping up. I have wrapped up. So you are not, your voice is not on air. All right.